Natural networker, maybe you're a natural analytical thinker, but it has more to do with our hardwired talents. And so a lot of companies have, and the last example you just gave on trying to help individuals figure out what they were really good at, who they really were, a lot of that is designed to help people find more jobs that make more sense within the company so that they can go take career paths that actually take advantage of their talent rather than just keep moving them up in a standard way. How did that work within HP? Did HR play a role in trying to help people find jobs and move up based on their natural talents?
Yes, but education played another big part in it as well.
In what way?
If you had probably one of the most inspiring stories that I'd like to share was, even though, and this kind of takes me back, and I hope I'm not getting off track a little bit, but this just goes to show you what a great company Hewlett Packard was. As you all know, when the company split and we had Agilent and we had Hewlett Packard, I to this day still am a shareholder of Hewlett Packard. I have stock that I bought many years ago, and still in my heart of hearts I have this loyalty to this company, even though it is a totally different company now. And when the company split, Carly Fiorina became the CEO for HP, and Ed Barnhold was the CEO for Agilent. There was a lot of decisions that she made along the way that were still controversial to the old HP values. And one of them was when she decided to merge Hewlett Packard with, oh gosh, I can't remember the company. Anyway, there was a lot
Compaq?
Compaq, yes. And there was a shareholder meeting, and Bill Hewlett's son was representing the ones that were against the merger of Compaq. And we had a shareholder meeting at an auditorium at the Flint Center in Cupertino. And it was an open forum, and there were people there for and against the merger. And it was allowed for people on the floor, anyone, to get up and voice their concern about the merger. Carla Fiorina, who's the CEO, was up there, and we had an employee that got up, who was an HP employee, and said, I started out at Hewlett Packard 15 years ago, 20 years ago, as a material handler. I saw the opportunities, and I worked my way through, and Hewlett Packard paid for my education to become an electrical engineer. I have designed and have actually patented products that now are owned by other companies like Cisco, and it so happened Carly Fiorina was on the board for Cisco. And he says, but along the way, I got married, I had my kids, I was able to provide well for my children. I had other companies that asked me, would I go work for them for more money than Hewlett Packard was paying me, but because of what I knew about HP and the core values of Bill Hewlett and Dave Packard brought to this company, I chose not to go and make more money. I chose to work at HP. And he voiced his concern to Carly Fiorina, should this merger go through, I will leave HP. And he was basically very brave to voice this, because a lot of people who were against the merger didn't want to say anything because they were feeling the threat of their job. He didn't care. He says, I know I'm marketable, but I learned all this at HP. HP paid for my education. I was able to really contribute to the success of HP. and beyond that, and have been asked to leave the company and get paid more money than what I'm getting paid here. But because HP was what it was, everyone clearly knew with this new CEO that the culture and everything of what it was going to change.
And I heard it did.
And it did. And it did. And for 5 years, the stock was at its bottom low. And at the end of 5 years, she gets fired and walks off with a $35 million bonus.
Nice. Speaking of culture, I mean, you've mentioned that you still believe strongly in those core values that were there. You've given a lot of examples of the culture, the philosophy within the organization. Just if you can just spend a short amount of time just saying, what were some of the key cultural elements within HP, and what role did HR play in communicating, transmitting that culture?
Well, probably the one that is the most was that it was a bottoms up managing by wandering around. There was honesty, there was integrity. You trusted the people that you worked with. You trusted the sincerity of the manager that was managing you. You never felt that there was going to be any backstabbing. That just wasn't tolerable. It was a very clean, healthy environment. You were rewarded if you did well. You were recognized if you contributed to something. It was a very healthy environment to be in. And of course, I mean, now I can, at 63 years of age, and I now see how much it changed over the years, that's not there anymore.
What role did HR play in transmitting
I see what
those
you mean.
cultural elements?
Okay, well, let's say, for example, if an employee was interested in a job opportunity that opened up and they saw that they were qualified for it, they had a process in place that the employee would apply for it. The manager would make a decision. Yes, this person looks like they are qualified for this job. I'll put them in the pool and interview them. And prior to that interview, they were not allowed to look at any of their performance evaluations till after they had interviewed them. So the processes were in place to help the manager objectively make their final decision and not be so subjective. And where I'm going with this is there was none of this, well, you don't want to interview her because, she doesn't get along with some of her peers type of thing. So this is where the honesty and the integrity really played a big role. I wish I could remember all the core values.
No, it's okay. No, it's just a matter.
But it's just there that it was a healthy environment.
Okay.
I mean, that's just one example. I can't think of another. You really. Oh, another part was harassment. Harassment is a big part. That just wasn't tolerated. Everybody had their brochure about harassment, whatever it was. If it was verbal or if it was sexual.